that I could understand why Moses struck the rock again. The Israelites were very disobedient people. They were just honestly annoying people to lead. They were always bickering with him. They were always questioning his authority. And yeah, they were just very hard to people to lead and to steward because, you know, he was guiding them out of Egypt. They were always mumbling and like actually wanting to go back to Egypt, which is the place that they were enslaved. So he struck it out of anger and frustration, but that the second time God did want him to speak to it. Yeah, because here it says like a potential like symbolic meaning that we could pull from it is that God wanted to show the people his authority in that, like, even just speaking, his act of faith in speaking to the rock the second time around to produce water, it could have displayed God's power in that, like, he doesn't have to use, because striking is a little bit violent. I don't know if that was, I mean, I don't think that was necessarily like the inference from the scripture, but like the second time God wanted to do something different. He didn't want him to do what he did the first time, because as much as it's a miracle, regardless of his means of bringing about the water, as much as it's a miracle anyway, like striking the rock and it just producing water, that's a miracle in and of itself. But the fact that like the way that the Israelites were, even with the manna, they were basically saying like, we're getting sick of this manna, we need meat and stuff like that. So then he sent them quail, I believe. It was like kind of like chicken, I don't know. It was meat. And then they were like, oh, we've had enough of this. So it's easy for such a rebellious people as they were to normalize the things of God, normalize the miracles and the works of God. So maybe God wanted to show something through Moses and his act of disobedience, because God is still good. So God is still giving them provision of water, regardless of like the fact that he disobeyed. God still came through for them. But yeah, he wanted to do something new.